What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday to you. I got to tell you right off the bat, we've got some reignited trade rumors surrounding Mark Andrews yesterday. Ian Rapoport on TV gave some big-time news to all Ravens fans who might have thought the Mark Andrews trade rumor time was done. It was gone. Everybody was confident he was coming back in 2025. Well, now things have maybe changed. Stick around. We'll break all that down in just a second. Before that, I got to tell you guys, hit that subscribe button because we've been battling our Steelers Talk channel all April long, and right now we are only 14 subs behind them. If you want to help us out, help us win this April sub battle, and if you hate the Steelers and love the Baltimore Ravens, then you'll do me one big favor and hit that sub button. I just need at least 14 die-hard Ravens fans to help me out and help us prove to everybody right here at Chat Sports that the Baltimore Ravens truly do run the AFC North. Alrighty, so like I said off the top, it does seem like a Mark Andrews trade rumor is very much still possible. Ian Rapoport was on TV last night with the NFL Network and was asked about the Baltimore Ravens, what they might do with Mark Andrews, and here's what he had to say. I may give that it is very, very much up in the air. I wouldn't be surprised, based on what I'm hearing here, if some team does come in and make an offer that the Ravens can't refuse. And this seems like a complete 180 to everything that we've talked about with Mark Andrews over the past couple of weeks. Everybody, myself included, kind of swallowed their pride and got to thinking, you know what, he's going to be back and this team might be better for it. But this just sends us in a totally new direction. And he said he'd be very, very, or not very surprised if some team makes an offer that Baltimore can't refuse, which is what they've been waiting on for the entirety of this offseason. And before we go any further, I want to just get you caught up all to speed on where this whole Mark Andrews saga has gone throughout the past couple of months, because you might have checked out for a little while and checked back in right now. Well, it all started on January 19th when he fumbled in the fourth quarter against the Bills and then dropped the two-point conversion that would have sent it into overtime. Then the next day in locker room clean-out day, which is the media's last chance to talk to players before OTAs, he was a no-show. Did not want to talk to anybody. And then about a month later at the scouting combine, Eric DeCosta, it seemed like he was almost saying goodbye to Mark Andrews. And his, answer of that question, he was like, Mark's has been a phenomenal Raven. We love Mark Andrews. Just said a lot of things that seemed like he was fattening up a pig for the slaughter. And then when we thought, maybe this could happen, March 16th came around. He was due a $4 million roster bonus. He got his $4 million roster bonus, and that had everybody thinking, okay, if they're going to pay him that $4 million, he's going to stick around. And then just a couple of weeks ago, 2 to be exact, Harbaugh doubled down and really had everybody thinking that Mark Andrews is going to stay on this team. Here's what Harbaugh had to say. Mark's in a good place. He's working really hard. I do fully expect him to be playing for us next year. He's just too good of a player. So it's obvious that quote from John Harbaugh, given on March 31st, 17 days ago, it's obvious that things have changed over the last few weeks. What those things are, I don't know. It could be that just we're getting close to the draft and some teams are saying, you know what, I don't think one of those top tight ends like a Colston Lovin, like a Tyler Ward are going to fall to us in the draft. Maybe we need to add a piece like Mark Andrews. Maybe we need to go out and acquire a guy, a veteran leader, a dominant player still like Mark Andrews, get him on this team and give our offense a totally new wrinkle. I want you guys to make the call for me, okay? What will Baltimore do with Mark Andrews? Not what would you do. What do you think Baltimore will do? If you think they're going to trade him, type T for trade. If you think they're going to stick around and keep him, go ahead, give me a K for keep in the comment section down below. You might get hit with a YouTube ad break when that time comes. Don't worry about it. Just go down to the comment section, find this pinned comment, and give me your answer. So I'm going to be frank, if Baltimore gets a third rounder, I think he's gone. I think that's what Baltimore has been waiting for the entirety of this offseason, okay? They've made it pretty clear, and insiders, either if it's Adam Schefter, Ian Rapoport, if it's the own guys, who have the beat on the Baltimore Ravens, everybody's kind of made it clear that Mark Andrews has kind of been on the trade block in a sense. They just haven't gotten anything for him that they felt has been worth it. But I think they've been waiting on that third rounder, and if a team does end up offering a third rounder for Mark Andrews, I don't think Baltimore's going to hesitate one bit about it. And an interesting wrinkle in all of this is Eric DeCosta and John Harbaugh spoke to the media earlier this week, and they were asked about Mark Andrews, and Eric DeCosta gave kind of a dodgy answer. He said, I never know what's going to happen, which is interesting to come from a GM who, is the one who controls what happens. I would never want to say this or that, but I could tell you this. Andrews is a warrior, and he's played his butt off for us. His competitiveness, his talent, his attitude, his leadership is so valued here, and he's a great player. I think we're in the business of keeping as many great players as we can. And I'm not going to lie to you, this kind of seems a little bit like smoke and mirrors to me. This kind of seems like Eric DeCosta and John Harbaugh not saying much, but at the same time, trying to say as much as they can, right? Using a ton of words, a ton of fluff, and at the end of the day, you break that sentence down, it's like there wasn't really much said, except off the top, when Eric DeCosta didn't really want to commit, and he said, you know what? I never know what's going to happen. So, who's going to trade for Mark Andrews? We've talked about them before. I want to talk about them again. I think I would look out for Los Angeles. They currently are picking, I believe, Nick, is it number 21 in this next draft or number 22? Somewhere in the early 20s, Los Angeles has their selection. And why I'd look out for Los Angeles is they have ties with Andrews. That's because of their offensive coordinator, Greg Roman. And we all know Roman loves tight ends. You know who else loves tight ends? A guy named Jim Harbaugh. And also, Los Angeles, they were in the running to land Evan Ingram. They missed out on him. He went to Denver. And so because of that, I truly believe if they don't get Colston Loveland, who formerly played for Jim Harbaugh, or if they don't get Tyler Warren, who would never fall to as far as they are picking, I think they could give Baltimore a call on draft night and say, hey, what can we give you for Mark Andrews? So my take on this is with the addition of DeAndre Hopkins, and likely going to move up to that tight end one spot if Mark Andrews is gone, I think that this offense would recover fine with no Mark Andrews. I get it. He led this team in receiving touchdowns. He had a phenomenal year in 2024. And a lot of people get caught up with the fumble. They get caught up with the dropped extra point. I'm not one of those people. I'm just here saying that because of the additions of D-Hop and the fact that you have Isaiah Likely on your roster, you're not hurting for tight end. He can step right up. I truly believe it. I think this offense would cover just fine without Mark Andrews. I am going to talk real quick about why I would make a trade, alrighty? But before that, I want to give a special announcement. We will be live 2 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow for a Chat Sports mock draft. It's going to be an absolute blast. We'll be live on every one of our NFL channels, and we'll be doing a mock draft throughout the company, okay? So come hang out with us 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The way you lock us in, don't miss it, subscribe, and join us. Also turn on those notifications. Alrighty, coming up right next after this, I'm going to talk about why I'm okay with an Andrews trade, that if I were the one in Eric DeCosta's shoes, why I would make it, and why I'd be okay with it as a fan. But before that, if you guys are a fan just like I am, you got to go check out Game Time because they are the fan's best friend when it comes to purchasing tickets for any kind of sporting event. And of course, they are the official ticketing partner of the Ravens Rundown. And what I love about Game Time is they provide the easiest way to get tickets on short notice. You can save up to 60% off by buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and etc. I know Baltimore doesn't have a basketball team, but the playoffs are here, and it doesn't matter who you cheer for. Being in the building in that electric playoff atmosphere gives you memories you'll never forget for the rest of your life. So you can get easy to find and buy basketball tickets and tickets for every kind of event in your area. Game Time has an awesome feature. It's called Zone Deals. Game Time Zone Deals allow customers to purchase tickets for a general area of a venue rather than specific seats, offering potential discounts and flexibility for last-minute ticket buyers. And I don't know if you're a Knicks fan. I don't know if you're a Celtics fan. I don't know if you're a Grizzlies fan, Warriors fan, whoever you cheer for when it comes to basketball, Game Time has you covered if you want to go out and check them out during the playoffs. Say you like the New York Knicks. You just click on the New York Knicks, then you go into their venue. You got the overhead, and then after that, you click into your seat. You get the views from your seats, and do not forget to use code CHATSPORTS when you are checking out because that is how you take advantage of the $20 off that we're offering you right here on the Ravens Rundown. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. The link to this promo is in the comments and the description of today's video. So download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. So I want to preface something, okay? Before every single one of you guys gets in the comment section and roasts me and says, Joey, Mark Andrews is a Hall of Famer. Mark Andrews is a Mount Rushmore Raven. I get what you're saying, okay? So I want to start by saying this offense will be worse without Andrews, okay? However, I do think that they can make up enough slack so that way it's okay because of all the money you save. And that's where I want to start. Reason number one of why I'd be okay with an Andrews trade is because of the money, 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 money. You would save a ton if you either trade or cut Mark Andrews. Now, I think we're past the point of talking about cutting him, but it's all going to be if he gets traded or not, okay? And Mark Andrews in 2025 is a $16 million cap hit. In Baltimore, because I've shown you this before, you've seen this, they can save $11 million if he is cut or if he is traded. And right now, $11 million to your cap space sounds like a pretty good deal because right now they sit at $12.36 million, which sounds like a lot of money because if you're anything like me, you got like $17 in your bank account. But for an NFL team, $12.36 million is kind of poor. So Baltimore could use a little extra cash. And the second reason why I'd be okay with Mark Andrews' trade is because of Isaiah Likely. I've talked about it before. We've talked about it a ton. We're so excited to see what Isaiah Likely can and will do this next year. Cannot wait to see him flash out onto the scene yet again. There were times this past year where he looked not only like the best tight end on the roster, but like the best pass catcher on the roster. And would it surprise you if I told you that in the playoffs, Isaiah Likely, even though he's going into year 3, has had a better career than Mark Andrews? Andrews has played 8 career playoff games. He's averaged 39.4 yards a game. He's never scored a touchdown. He's fumbled once, and he has 8 drops in 8 games. Yes, that's right. He's averaging a drop a game. Isaiah Likely, in his smaller sample, has 4 career games played in the playoffs, 44 yards a game, 2 touchdowns. So he's already found the end zone more times than Mark Andrews has. 0 fumbles and 0 drops. Better in every single statistic, and yet has played 4 less games. Also heading into year 4, not year 3. Sorry for that. My prediction, what I would bet is going to happen. Maybe not what I would bet is going to happen, but if he does get traded, I think it's a draft night trade. I think that's the one that happens. I'd be surprised to see it happen before the NFL draft, but if it happened during the NFL draft, I would not be surprised in the slightest. And it's because we got this from Adam Schefter just last week. He said, I wonder if there's a team that is looking at draft prospects, Tyler Ward and Colson Loveland, and doesn't get him, turns around, says to Baltimore, we'll give you a 3rd-round pick for Mark Andrews. That is exactly what Ian Rapoport was saying at the top of the show, right? He said, would not be surprised if someone gives Baltimore an offer they can't refuse. And I think that could happen on the night of the 2025 NFL Draft in just 8 days. So what say you guys? Let me know in the comments section. Will the Ravens trade Mark Andrews? Give me a yes or give me a no. Let me know what your answer is right now and get down there. Make sure you guys, while you're already down there, go ahead and hit that big red sub button and join us. Again, reminder, we'll be live tomorrow for our Chat Sports mock draft. Be sure to join us. It's going to be a blast. Subscribe, turn on notifications.